The real estate market has officially flipped. Buyers are now in control and sellers, well, they're starting to feel the pressure. For months now, we've seen hesitation. People have been sitting on the sidelines and wondering where prices are heading. And now, with buyers finally gaining that upper hand and more homes sitting on the market, the big question is what will happen next? Because here's the thing, it's not just about real estate market trends that are at play right now. We've got uncertainty brewing on multiple fronts. We've got rising tariffs from the US, which are adding pressure to our economy. And with a pending election here in Canada, many buyers and sellers, they're sitting on the fence, unsure whether to make that move or if they should wait it out. And that's exactly why you want to try and read between the lines, because the savviest of buyers and sellers, they always know that opportunity exists in every market, even during uncertain times. And so the question really is do you know where to find it? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the latest market stats, how these external factors are impacting the real estate market, and what it all is going to mean to you. So let's start with what's happening with sales. Are homes still moving? Are buyers actually stepping in, or are they just window shopping? Well, in February, 920 homes sold across the Fraser Valley. That's a 13% jump from January. So yes, we are seeing a little momentum here picking up. But before we get ahead of ourselves here, if you compare that to last year, sales are still down by 26%. Why? Well, because buyers aren't in a rush. And frankly, they don't have to be. There is a lot more inventory sitting on the market, which means that buyers have choices. Now, despite a slight dip in new listings last month, the total number of active listings sits at 8,070, which is a massive 45% increase from last year. And this shift in supply and demand is changing the game. And it leads us to the next key factor shaping the market today. And that is inventory levels and what they mean for buyers and sellers. Right now, the Fraser Valley is officially in a buyer's market, which we haven't seen for a while now. To put it simply, there are way more homes for sale than there are buyers snatching them up. Now, the sales to active listing ratio is 11%, which is below the threshold for a balanced market. So here's what that means to you. When buyers have more options, they don't feel rushed. They can negotiate harder on their price and on their terms. And sellers, well, those sellers who overprice their homes, they're going to be sitting on the market much longer. So as things sit, the power dynamic has shifted. But what does this mean for home prices? Are they actually coming down, or are sellers holding firm? So let's talk about what everybody really wants to know, which is home prices. So overall, prices in the Fraser Valley, they dipped slightly in February, with the composite benchmark price sitting at $962,500. That's a 0.2% drop from last month. Now, the impact is going to vary depending on the type of home that we look at. Looking at detached homes, prices, they actually ticked up by 0.5%, bringing the benchmark price to about $1,489,000. But compared to last year, they are still down 0.6%. Now, looking at townhomes, prices fell 0.7% month over month to $820,600, and they're down 2.1% from last year. And then condos, prices also here dropped 0.3% to $533,200, which is a 2.4% decline year over year. So the key takeaway here is that detached homes are holding their value, while condos and townhomes, they're slightly softening. And this is great news, of course, if you're a first-time buyer or perhaps an investor, because we're finally seeing some breathing room in the more affordable segments of our market. But before we start thinking that homes are getting scooped up left and right, let's first take a look at how quickly they are selling. So here's something that's really interesting. Homes actually sold faster in February than they did in January. Looking at detached homes, they took an average of 39 days to sell. Condos averaged at 36 days, and townhomes moved the quickest in just 32 days. So does this mean that the market is heating up? Well, not necessarily. What it really tells us is that well-priced homes are still moving. Buyers are being more selective, but if a property is priced right and checks enough of the right boxes, it is going to sell. Whereas overpriced listings, well, those are just sitting there. And that leads us to the big question. Where is the market headed next? And should you make a move now, or should you hold off a little bit longer? Right now, buyers are gaining more control. Inventory is up, sales are still lower than normal, and prices are softening in some segments. But there's another wild card in play here, and that's the economy. Between the US tariffs putting pressure on trade and, Canada's upcoming election creating uncertainty, a lot of people are hesitating, unsure whether they should buy, sell, or, just wait it out. But here's the thing. Opportunity, it does not wait for certainty, okay? The savviest buyers and sellers, those are the ones that read between the lines and they make their move when others are stuck on those sidelines. Now, it's important to remember that these stats, they reflect the Fraser Valley as a whole. And every city, every neighborhood, even different types of homes within a market, they all behave differently. So if you'd like to know exactly what is happening in your specific neighborhood, give me a call, reach out, and I can share those local stats directly with you. So the bottom line here is that buyers are in control now. There's more inventory, prices are softening in some areas, and homes aren't flying off the shelves like they were just a year ago. So what's the smart move? Well, if you're buying, take your time, negotiate hard, and don't be afraid to walk away if a deal doesn't make sense to you. Now, if you're selling, you want to make sure that you price it right from day one, because overpriced homes, they're completely being ignored. And by the way, if you're wondering what your home is worth in today's market, you can scan the QR code. I'll put one up here on the screen, or you can use the link in the description box below to get a free AI-generated home valuation. Okay, guys, that's it for your market update this month. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on next month's breakdown. And I will see you on the next video.